Hello. What is it? Happy Thursday. I just watched your recent video with, I think, Elise, right? Yeah, Elise. Overall, great work. Your tone and the prompts and everything was flowing much better, which was awesome. I would, though, still push her back a little bit further from the table. It seemed like the board was pretty close to her, so she doesn't have that full range to get to other letters. And then, again, think about her age and those spell words and jokes. It's too simple of a spell word, but it was good though. You're only doing spell at the beginning for warm-up, so that's good, but try and make them a little more age appropriate. I would still have some gestural prompts just to help with that, because that kind of one letter off mispoke could just be needing a little more support until you guys get to that step in your relationship. And it's still, it's only the 6th video. It's still the beginning. It's totally fine to be prompting as much as needed. And that was good that you got the 26 board out. I definitely would have advised that, because, she was having very little mispokes. There were a couple times, that she was spelling on the 26, and after each letter you kind of would lift it up and put it back down. But instead of doing that, because you're moving to the 26, keep in mind that you are going to have to increase whatever prompts you were doing before on the 3s at this beginning phase and do a couple spells. But just really try and keep that board down and use more of that gestural, eye prompts, directional, continuation. And if she's doing a few mispokes, then reset. But if she is spelling apple and she got the A and the P, instead of lifting it up and saying get it again, then just say it's a double, keep going, after P, get it, go P then, look for it, L and, after L, E then. So yeah, just try and do those resets once she has a few mispokes, 2 to 3. Also, towards the end of the session or the video you sent, there were a couple times that it seemed like the board was kind of over the table again, but instead of holding the board over the table, just push her chair further back so the board can be down closer to her knee, and she has that nice natural range and is extending the arm almost completely, and the board's at the end of her hand. Really great job. It seemed like she wasn't resting her elbows much, so that's great. And then I think at one point you went back down to the 3s when you were she was flowing really well on the 26. So if that's the case, keep testing you guys' relationship and stay on that 26, I would only jump back down to the 3s if she was really, really all over the place and mispoking. And then I think there was a question about how many jobs Adam Sandler's had. I didn't look at the lesson. I need to look. But that's technically an orange, and I'm not sure you guys are ready yet for that semi-open. We want to really make sure that those greens on the 26 are super duper strong with minimal prompting before you step up to that next set of questions. But overall, yeah, it's amazing looking back at the first video to this one. You guys are progressing exactly how you should, and keep up the good work. Just really make sure that she gets that full extension and that the board is never over the table, because then that means she has to kind of use that elbow to lift it up higher. But yeah, great work. Let me know if you have any questions. Sorry, I'm gonna I ended that video, but I'm gonna piece this together and then upload it. In regards to the comment about her mom, has Elise spelled that she's embarrassed to do spelling in front of other people? And do you mean she's embarrassed to, you know, if she's spelling with you, she's embarrassed for mom to be in the room? Or I would maybe, if mom's open with Elise, I would just, you know, try and encourage another conversation about that and see if Elise has any ideas on how she wants to approach that, or if she even wants to work on that, or if it would help if you guys, you know, went to a park and sat far away from people, but they were somewhat in the area, just for a little bit of that exposure. But, I mean, I do know that she was at Connections, and I'm sure she was spelling in front of all kinds of people all the time. So I would probably just follow up and ask mom to explain a little bit more, or see if you can hear from Elise herself on that. Because, you know, the end goal would be that she's able to have this form of communication wherever she is in the world or whoever she's around. But it is something that could take time to get used to, but I would just see if she has any goals or ideas on how everyone can best support her through that quote-unquote embarrassment or whatever's going on around that.